When Everett heard this, he knew he had caused a complete disaster. He quickly said, "Miss Smith, I didn't mean it. Mr. Wade, please take that stone away quickly." Charlie shook his head. It's useless to take it away now. The dragon array is sealed. It's like throwing a stone into a pond. Even if you take the stone out, you can't stop the ripples it created. Waria stared at Charlie, dumbfounded. A new sense of respect began to grow inside her. "Mr. Wade, please help me fix this," she begged. "I don't care how much it costs. I'll pay anything." When Orville realized Charlie knew what was going on, he quickly said, "Mr. Charlie, please, you have to help Our Lady." Charlie nodded and said, "Miss Smith, the energy alignment in your room wasn't originally a problem, but this is your milestone year. Your lifestyle has changed, and it no longer matches the energy alignment of this room. That's what created this big dragon snare." Charlie added, "I need to change the energy alignment of your room now, but it might cause some damage. I hope you don't mind." Waria said immediately, "Mister, please, go ahead. Even if you have to tear this house down, I don't have any objections." Charlie nodded and said to the housekeeper, "Mr. Foreman, please find me a crowbar." Ian immediately said, "I'll get it right now." A moment later, Ian came back with a metal crowbar and asked, "Mr. Wade, will this work?" "Give it to me." Charlie looked around the room carefully, then briefly touched his fingers together as if making a final calculation. He took a few steps, pointed to a section of the wooden floor, and said, "Orville, please pry this part of the floor off." Orville nodded, but instead of helping right away, he turned to Everett and punched him hard in the gut. The punch sent Everett sprawling. He spat out a mouthful of blood and cried out in pain on the ground. Orville was a gangster, and he knew what he was doing. After a punch like that, Everett Sutton couldn't even sit up, let alone try to escape. After that, Orville took the crowbar from Ian and, following Charlie's instructions, pried up the floorboards. The floorboards came up, revealing the concrete floor underneath. Orville asked him, "Mr. Charlie, what's the next step?" Charlie said calmly, "The dragon's snare has to have a central point, an axis. I just figured out where it is. It should be right below this spot. The axis of the dragon's snare is controlled by water, and the flow of water is what seals the eyes of the formation. That's what locks up your luck. So, if I'm not mistaken, there should be a water pipe under this concrete." "Really?" Orville asked in surprise. "Mr. Charlie, do you have X-ray vision or something?" Charlie said casually, "It's not X-ray vision, it's just deduction, using the fundamental forces and some specific knowledge. For example, if you see the lights on in a room, you know there have to be electrical wires buried in the walls." What Charlie was saying were all the mysteries of energy alignment recorded in the mystic texts. Most people don't understand energy alignment at all, so they could never guess where water lines or electrical wiring might be hidden. At that moment, Charlie added, "I think the concrete covering the pipe should be very thin. You can find out if you hit it hard with that crowbar a few times." "All right." Orville slammed the crowbar onto the concrete floor. After just a few hard hits, a thin layer of concrete cracked and broke away. Everyone held their breath and watched. Just as predicted, they saw Orville uncover a PVC water pipe about as thick as a thumb from inside the concrete. This kind of pipe usually leads from a hallway into a bathroom, but in a huge house like this, that single pipe could have been located anywhere. Yet Charlie had been able to point out its exact location, which was absolutely shocking. "That's incredible!" Orville wasn't the only one stunned. Waria and Ian were completely speechless. Finding a water pipe hidden in the concrete like that was just amazing. Charlie said, "Break the pipe and let the water gush out. Once the water is released, it will shatter the formation. When the formation collapses, it'll be gone for good." Waria said urgently, Mr. Orville, you have to break that pipe." Orville nodded and slammed the crowbar against the pipe a few more times until it burst. A huge spray of water shot out instantly, and Charlie, Waria, and Ian all scrambled back to avoid getting soaked. As the water gushed out, Charlie could feel that the dragon array had been completely destroyed by the critical damage. Then Charlie said to Ian, "You can turn off the main water valve now. The formation is broken." "That's it? It's broken?" Everyone looked at him in disbelief. Charlie said calmly, "It's broken. Miss Smith, your luck has been held back for so long, it should start turning around any minute now." Right after he finished speaking, Warnia's phone rang. "Miss Smith, the European team just called. They said they made a mistake with the sample. It wasn't our fault at all. Our shipment is perfectly fine." "That's wonderful." Waria couldn't believe it. The moment the formation was broken, her luck instantly turned around. As soon as she hung up, she turned to Charlie, her face full of gratitude. "Mr. Charlie, you're a miracle worker. Thank you so much." Charlie smiled slightly and said, "You're welcome, Miss Smith. Orville was the one who asked me to come and help. This is all part of the job." Hearing this, Orville was so moved he could have cried. He never expected Charlie to give him credit like that, especially at a moment like this. This would definitely get him noticed by Miss Smith. He had always wanted to get into the good graces of the eldest daughter, but she tended to keep people with his kind of background at a distance. Because of that, he'd only ever been on the fringes of the Smith family's business empire. With this kind of credit, he was sure he could finally become part of the Smith family's inner circle. Waria looked at Mr. Orville and said, "You showed great concern for this matter, and I won't forget it." Orville said quickly, "Miss, it's my job." Waria nodded. With Orville, she was still the powerful head of the family, but with Charlie, she was completely respectful. Just then, Waria's cell phone rang again. It was Alistair Prescott. Mr. Prescott. Waria was still annoyed that he had bailed on their deal. Alistair said over the phone, "Miss Smith, I am so sorry. It was all a misunderstanding. My father's energy consultant says your luck has suddenly turned around. He says your business prospects are skyrocketing, and he strongly recommends that we partner with your Smith family. I sincerely hope we can sign the contract as soon as possible. I want to fly to your city tomorrow. I was hoping we could meet in person." Alistair Prescott's sudden change in attitude was so drastic that Waria was shocked, her jaw nearly hitting the floor. Even though she was still a little angry about how Alistair had bailed on her before, she felt like shouting with excitement now. But she held it in and said, "In that case, let's set a time and place for the signing." Alistair replied instantly, "The sooner we sign, the better. How about I fly to Aros Hill tomorrow to meet with you in person?" Waria hung up the phone completely in awe of Charlie. Those 2 phone calls from Alistair were all the proof she needed of Charlie's power. That fraud Everett Sutton had messed everything up with that serpent sigil. Alistair had immediately called to back out of the deal. He'd said his father's energy consultant saw that her luck was bad, but the second Charlie broke the formation, Alistair called back, saying her fortune was skyrocketing. It was the clearest possible proof of Charlie's abilities. While Waria was still marveling at this, she got another call from an unknown number. The person on the other end asked, "Is this Miss Smith?" "This is she. Who's calling?" The caller said, "Miss Smith, I'm the manager of the Zelda boutique. You were trying on some clothes and accessories in our store last week. Do you remember?" Waria said, "Yes, I remember. What's this about?" The manager replied, "Well, we just found a diamond necklace in the corner of the fitting room with your name engraved on it. I figured you must have left it here, so I'm calling to confirm." Waria suddenly started trembling with excitement. "The necklace! Where is it now? Do you have it?" "Yes, it's here at the store. I'll be right there to get it." After hanging up, Waria couldn't hold back her tears. She looked at Charlie and choked out, her voice thick with gratitude. "Mr. Charlie, they found it. They found the necklace my mother left me. Thank you so, so much." Charlie smiled and said, "I'm glad they found it. If you're in a hurry, Miss Smith, you should go get it." Waria nodded, quickly wrote out a check for $20 million and handed it to Charlie. "Mr. Charlie, this is just a small token of my appreciation. Please accept it." Charlie just smiled slightly and waved his hand, refusing it. 20 million? Charlie thought. I've got tens of billions in cash that I don't even know how to spend. What am I supposed to do with 20 million? So, he said casually, "Miss Smith, you and I are friends. There's no need to bring money into this." But Waria insisted. "Mr. Charlie, that 20 million is a small token of my gratitude. I really hope you'll accept it. Otherwise, I'll feel awful about this." Charlie replied calmly, "Miss Smith, our paths will probably cross again in the future. Why get caught up in keeping score?" When Waria heard this, it finally clicked. She quickly put the check away and said apologetically, "I'm sorry, Mr. Charlie. That was foolish of me. If you ever need anything in the future, just say the word. I'm at your service." Charlie gave a slight nod. "Good. Now go get your necklace back." Waria nodded, eager to retrieve her necklace. After thanking Charlie one last time, she quickly asked Ian Foreman to drive her away. After the two of them left, Orville was overflowing with gratitude. He grabbed Charlie's hand and said excitedly, "Mr. Charlie, you're really something else. If you ever need anything, I swear I'd climb the crucible or walk through fire for you. I'd lay it all on the line, no questions asked."